Hi, today we're going to be talking about the appendicular skeleton. Here we have the two girdles, the pectoral girdle and the pelvic girdle. This has the ilium, ischium, and pelvis. The pectoral girdle has the clavicle and the scapula. With the clavicle we have an S-shaped bone. Here we have the sternoclavicular joint, and this is the sternal end of the clavicle. Here we have the acromial end of the clavicle, and this is the acromial clavicle joint right there. Here we have the coracoid process. In here we have the glenoid cavity in black. This allows for the head of the humerus to articulate to it. Here's the scapula, and this is a subscapular fossa in the front. Posteriorly, we have the scapula. Here's the spine, and the spine goes right up into the acromion, right here. This is the point of the shoulder, acromion. Here we have the supraspinous fossa, infraspinous fossa on the bottom. Now we're going to move on to the humerus. Here we have the head of the humerus. The tubercles, greater tubercle is lateral, lesser tubercle is anterior. Here we have the bicipital groove and the deltoid tuberosity in black. The coronoid, medial and lateral epicondyles. Medial epicondyle, lateral epicondyle. Coronoid fossa is this very flat part right here, and that allows for the coronoid process, which is this little part right here, to articulate with it. It goes right up in there. Next we have the capitulum, which is the rounded part here, and it allows for the radial head to articulate with it and allows the hand to turn over. And then the radius will go on top of the ulna. The trochlea is the spool-shaped bone right here, and it allows for the trochlear notch of the ulna to go right up into it, like so. The olecranon is the posterior elbow. Here's the olecranon fossa, right here, that divot, that smooth groove, and it allows for the olecranon to articulate right into it. Now we're going to move on to the ulna, which is this bone. The olecranon is the elbow, like we just said, which is here. The coronoid process is the tip right here. It attaches to the trochlea, and it's right here at the tip. Next we have the coronoid process of the ulna, which is right here. And then we have the styloid process of the ulna, which is the pointiest part right here. It's like a stylus for your pen. It's right there. It's the pointiest part. Moving on to the radius, we have the radial head here, the radial tuberosity, and the radial stylus. And just so you know, the radius is always on the thumb side. Moving on to the carpus, which is the wrist bone. We have 8 bones of the carpus here. The first set of 4 bones, none of them attach to the metacarpals. So that's how we know where to start. We have this one here is the sphenoid, the lunate, the trapezium, the triquitrium, and here we have the pisiform. It's the bump. Now we're moving on to the carpals that do attach to the metacarpals, which is this one, the trapezium, trapezoid, capitate, and hemate. Hemate is another bump. These are the metacarpals, and they're the meaty part of your hand. They're 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. That's how we name them. Here we have the phalanges, which are the fingers. We have proximal, medial, and distal. Of the pollex, which is the thumb, we have only proximal and distal. Going on to the pelvic girdle now. Here's our pelvic girdle, which consists of the 3 bones, the ilium, the ischium, which is your butt bone in the back, and the pelvis. These are the lines that I approximate will separate the ilium from the pelvis. Under here, there's a line that will separate the pelvis from the ischium. And then back here, I have a line where I will separate the ilium from the ischium. And we have the acetabulum, which is the hip socket joint of the iliac. And then the pubis symphysis is this line. It's just the line where the 2 pelvic bones meet. The obturator foramen is the hole. Iliac crest. Anterior superior iliac spine. Iliac fossa. Greater sciatic notch. The greater sciatic notch, it is here. If you could see this notch, and it goes right into the ischial spine. And from the ischial spine, it will go all the way down to the ischial tuberosity, which is your butt bone right there. Femur. Femur head is here. The head of the femur. It's the round ball that goes into the acetabulum. Here we have the trochanters, and this is the greater trochanter. Lesser trochanter is down here. The adductor tubercle is back here. The adductor tubercle is, it's this point right here, right by the epicondyle. So this is the medial condyle and the lateral condyle. Medial epicondyle, lateral epicondyle in black. It's right up on top of the condyles. And then the adductor tuberosity is, again, it's right here. It's this little lumpy bone. I colored it in black. And then we have the patella, which is your kneecap. Right here, patella. Going on to our tibia. It's this bigger bone here. And we have the medial condyle, which is here. Lateral condyle is here. Tibial tuberosity is right here. It's that bump you have on your leg right in the front. Medial malleolus is right here. It's that bump you have on your ankle. Medial malleolus. proximal tibiofibular joint is the proximal joint. So it's right here where the tibia and the fibula meet. Distal tibiofibular joint is here where the tibia and the fibula meet. And then going on to the fibula, the skinny bone here. The head of the fibula is here. The lateral malleolus is here, the outer part of your ankle, that hard bone. Then we have the tarsus, which is the feet. Here we have the feet, and the first bone that I want to talk about is the talus. And it's the talus, it attaches the tibia and the fibula. So the fibula is attached right here, and the tibia is attached right here. It allows for the foot to move up and down. And then we have the calcaneal, which is the heel, right here. This big bone, that's the calcaneal. We have the cuboidal bone, which is like a square here. We have the navicular bone. It's this square bone here. And again, like the hand, they do not touch to the tarsals. The ones that do touch to the tarsals, well, the cuboidal bone touches the tarsal, but this one does not. So we have here, we have the medial cuneiform, sorry, intermediate cuneiform, and lateral cuneiform. And these are the tarsals, or metatarsals, and it's the meat of the foot. The meat of the foot. Metatarsal 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And the hallux or great toe, it has a phalange. It's the proximal and distal. The second toe phalange has a proximal, medial, and distal. Same goes for number 3, 4, and 5. And that's my video.